Chemical reactions of photosynthesis. Chemical reactions of photosynthesis take place in the organelles called plastids. Plastids are packets of photosynthetic pigments. When a plastid contains chlorophyll, it's called chloroplast. The chloroplasts are bound by two membranes like the mitochondria, but the inner membrane of a chloroplast is not folded as that of a mitochondria. Inside chloroplasts are membranous discs called grana or granum. When the sheets-like membranes that make up the grana are called thylakoid membrane. Grana discs are surrounded by a fluid known as stroma. The thylakoid membranes and the stroma contain a lot of enzyme needed in the photosynthesis process. Photosynthesis occurs in two stages, which are light-dependent stage, commonly called light stage, requires light, and light-independent stage, referred to as the dark stage, or Calvin cycle, does not require light. The light-dependent stage, light stage, takes place in the grana, while the light-independent stage, or Calvin cycle, dark stage, takes place in the stroma. Light-dependent stage, light stage, it takes place in the thylakoid membrane. Light energy is trapped by two centers known as photosystems.mp4. The major difference between the two systems is ability of absorbing different lights of different wavelength. Photosystem.mp4 can absorb light of wavelength the equivalent to 700 nanometers, while photosystem.mp4 absorbs light of wavelength 680 nanometers. Therefore, sometimes PS is referred to as P700 and PS. A Hill reaction photolysis. This chemical reaction is part of light-dependent stage. It involves the splitting of water by sunlight. Therefore, Hill's reaction is sometimes called photolysis. It's from this chemical reaction that oxygen is liberated from water. That means oxygen released during photosynthesis comes from water rather than carbon dioxide. When sunlight strikes water, it's broken into oxygen and hydroxide ions. Two oxygen ions O combine to form a molecule of oxygen, O2, with the release of two electrons, 2e. The two electrons are picked by chlorophyll after losing its electrons to protein carriers after struck by light. Oxygen is released as a waste product. The hydrogen ions react with the oxygen atoms on benzoquinone, which is reduced to hydroxyquinone. It's the hydroxyquinone which reduces an ADP to naphtha while being oxidized to benzoquinone. The equation below summarizes photolysis.